All right, what is up, boys? We're back on here live once again, man. We're live on YouTube and Twitter right now. We got to go ahead, man, break down this entire slate we got popping off today in college football. It's going to be a good one this Saturday, guys. I cannot wait. So we're about to break all this down for y'all right now. Hope everyone's having a good Saturday, man. Drop in the comments whatever games are looking at, whatever games are firing on today's slate. Bro, unfortunately, is at the Ohio State game. Well, fortunate for him, unfortunate for me. So I'm holding it down by myself. We'll see how I can do on this stream by myself, man. Be honest with y'all, doing streams by yourself definitely is not as fun as it is having somebody else on here. So fortunately for Bro, I'm against him in today and his Ohio State Buckeyes, but hopefully he enjoys the game because they ain't covering that spread. So I hope he didn't bet on him today. But anyway, guys, today we got a big slate of college football come for y'all, and we're absolutely on fire right now, guys. In the last 7 days on SoBet, I'm up over 11 units, 68% on my bets. We're trying to keep building on that today. I'm about to give you all some free picks today in college football and talk about some of the biggest games and biggest matchups. Give me 1 second. I'm about to post this shit up so we can start getting people to flow in here on this live stream, guys. But it's been an insane run we've been on, man. These NBA props have just been printing money. For whatever reason it is, man, NBA props are the new wave. If you all know, I got my start in the industry on the NBA, and then we've just been crushing props, man. For whatever reason, the prop plays have been the move. Ohio State by a mil. Garrett says, man, we're about to talk about that game here in 1 second, Gary. You already know I got to play for y'all in that game today. All right, give me 1 sec, guys. I'm finishing posting this thing up. We just got to get this engagement up, baby, and then we're good to go. I'm posting on SoBet now that we're live, and then we're about to pop off on here. Guys, put in the comments what games y'all want to hear me talk about right now. Hit the like button, hit the follow button if you haven't already. I don't care if y'all don't want to buy my picks or not, but I want you in my community and to get my free plays and to talk ball with me. I appreciate everyone who comes in here every single time I do this stream, man. We're about to get it popped off here in 1 second. I just got to post this on SoBet that I'm live right now, and then we're good to go. But yeah, guys, put it in the comments. Let's do this thing. All right, we're going to start things off here at the noon slate. We're going to go to the Ohio State game second. First, we're going to talk about the Ole Miss game. We got Ole Miss taking on, guys, Ole Miss getting steamed right now in this game against Florida. So honestly, I wish I'd fired on them at 10. They're at 13 now. I'm going to pass on this game because I missed the best number. But you look at this slate, guys, and you look at Ole Miss in this game. Ole Miss, I mean, this is a good spot for them. You know, they need points. It's a beauty pageant essentially to make the college football playoff. It's them versus Tennessee to get that final spot. Both these teams need to put on for their team. You look at Florida. This is a key theme here, guys. You have 2 games left in the season. If you have 5 wins, you need 6 to go to a bowl game. Florida's got to win 1 more game in order to make a bowl game. Florida right now is sitting on the cusp at 5 wins. Who do they play next? They play my trash Florida State Seminoles in their next game. They're going to kill Florida State in that game. Take Ole Miss in this game. Just to think of similar matchups, guys, Ole Miss is a really good defensive line. Georgia couldn't run on them. Who's similar to the way Florida plays? South Carolina. South Carolina got dog walked by Ole Miss. So I think the same thing can happen here. Take the Rebels to cover in this game. That's what I would look at there. Let's talk Ohio State, Indiana, guys, the biggest matchup of the entire day. I'm about to give you all free play in the game right now. Look, I feel bad, but if y'all are over on SoBet, I put this play out on Wednesday. We took Indiana plus 13.5. I would still take them at the current number. I think Indiana is being disrespected by this line, guys. Look, I talk about it all the time in college football. I get it, man. Everybody thinks Ohio State's this, that, the other. A lot of times in college football, guys, Vegas can just straight up be wrong on teams. Go back and look at some of the best teams in college football. Always the dark horse team who comes out of nowhere typically covers like 11 out of 13 games because typically you play 12 games, possibly a conference championship game, and then also possibly the bowl game. Typically so let's say you play 14 games. Typically these teams will go like 12-2 in bowl games or against the spread. Indiana is that team this year, guys. I told you all at the beginning of the season, Cignetti, he said, Google me. It's the same thing here, guys. They're being disrespected. Cignetti gets an extra week to prepare. He's a better coach than Ryan Day. Honestly, guys, I look at this matchup here. I don't see how Indiana doesn't win this game outright, but I'm going to take them to cover here. Garrett says he's from Cleveland. He's got to ride with Ohio State. That's fair, Garrett. I can't blame you for riding with them. I like this matchup, though, for Indiana, man. They got a lot of explosiveness in this offense. Curtis Ward can really sling it. They did a lot in the transfer portal. Got a lot of veterans on this team. Ohio State barely beat Penn State. I think Indiana's got a lot better offense than Penn State does. Just looking at the numbers and the breakdown here, guys, let me pull some stats up for y'all on this game and this breakdown. I mean, guys, Indiana's defense has played fantastic in this game, and their run game is really, really solid as well. Indiana is missing one of their tackles, but I don't really think that's going to be much of a problem there. Ohio State's offensive line right now, guys, is absolutely decimated with injuries. What up, Sports Addicts Network? How are we doing today, my boy? Hey, guys, if you're in here right now, let me know what games you want to talk, Steve. We'll go to that Colorado game for you next, my boy. I see you want me to talk about that one, so we'll definitely go with that game next. Let's see here. Can I get the stat? Here we go. Rush success, guys, and stuff rate. Ohio State's really struggled. They're 64th in line yards and 76th in stuff rate. I think Indiana's going to run on them for sure in this game. So I'm going to back Indiana in this game today, guys. I gave them out at 13.5 on SoBet. At this point, I would still play him here in this game. Yeah, bro, it's going to be a big game for sure. You see Notre Dame error. No, what's the Notre Dame error you posted, Sports Addict Network? Lay it on us, my boy. Let's see here, guys. Let's keep cranking on the slate today. Damn, I got my NBA lines pulled up. I already capped all this. Next game up here, we wanted to hear Kansas versus Colorado. To be honest with y'all, look, I actually think Kansas is one of the best plays of the week this week. I'm not going to do it because I think this game's going to be rigged. We saw the Big 12 rig the Utah versus BYU game to keep BYU undefeated for one more week. I think they'll step in here and do the same thing. And you look at Kansas, guys. Kansas has played essentially all one-score games. Kansas's run attack is insane. Look at Colorado's schedule, man. Colorado hadn't beaten a ranked team. Colorado's schedule is a joke. They got dog walked by Nebraska. It's a terrible loss. They got dog walked by Kansas State. Kansas State sucks. I mean, I really don't think Colorado's that good, but I will say Shedeur and Travis Hunter, you got two top 5 picks on your offense. That can make up for a lot of flaws. Jimmy Horn Jr. is definitely an NFL receiver as well. So Colorado's got some solid players, man. I just think at the end of the day, when you look at this matchup, that I think Kansas is going to be able to establish the run here with Devin Neal. I think they're going to get it going on the ground here, and I think that with seeing that, guys, that this game is going to be tight for sure. Miami versus Virginia Tech rigged too. I don't know college football picks. I don't think that one was rigged. I don't think that was a touchdown. I just don't think you can call that. Well, I'll say this actually on the Miami game and Virginia Tech game back at the beginning of the season. I don't think it was rigged, but at the same time, like you got to look at it from this point in stance. The ACC sucks. You got to try to get as many teams you possibly can to the playoff for revenue share. On a 50-50 pass like that, I'm not giving them a touchdown. Let's put it that way. I think it could have gone either way. Fanat, damn, that's crazy, bro. At -110, fuck. I wish I wasn't in Georgia right now, or I'd be firing on that too with you. That's a great call out right there. Okay, here we go. QB DJ Lagway doesn't seem to be affected by left hamstring during warmups. That's interesting. I wonder if the spread will move back down a little bit. Wow. My max bet got steamed from 7.5 to 9 this morning. I've told y'all, man, we're moving lines over on SoBet. Click the link in my bio to get the max bets, but we're about to get another free play in here right now, guys. Take Arizona State -3 today against BYU. Look, guys, I talk about this all the time. You have to follow the market when it comes to sports betting. You might lose one game, you might lose 2 games, you might lose 3 games, but pay attention to the market. BYU consistently has been disrespected in the market, and it's not because they're a good team. It's because they're not actually good. They had a ton of turnover luck. And every single week, guys, they had shady lines. We talked about it on every single live stream, guys. The market does not respect BYU for an obvious reason. Vegas has told you the whole story. They don't believe in them. Now it's time. Arizona State should be 9-1, but they had to play Jeff Sims at quarterback one game because Levitt had a concussion and missed the Cincinnati game. If he plays in that game, this line's probably closer to 7, in my opinion, and I think that would be the correct line here. Arizona State is a really tough place to play. Dillingham has this offense rolling right now, and you look, BYU's rush offense is not great. That's really where Arizona State thrives. Arizona State's defense is good at everything except for rushing the passer, so I think it's a pretty good matchup for him here. BYU is terrible against the run. They're 75th in rush success, and they're 72nd in line yards. Arizona State's 15th in rush success and 20th in line yards. They're going to run all over BYU. BYU's defense, if you look, they're bad at pretty much everything. They're okay actually against the pass, but they're bad at everything but the quality of drives. They've been good at holding teams to field goals, which is extremely lucky here. I think Arizona State's just going to run all over them in this game, man. I think Scadaboo and Levitt are going to go crazy on the ground. I think Arizona State's a really good team. I don't think Colorado wants a piece of this Arizona State team, guys, in the conference championship game. It might be a rigged game to get Colorado to the college football playoff, but Scadaboo and Levitt will go crazy on that Colorado defense on the ground, man. So I really like the Sun Devils in this game. Forks up for me today. Let's talk about another interesting game here. We got Wake Forest versus Miami. I look at this game between these two teams. The over's too high, but Wake Forest is one of the worst defenses in all of college football. They do have some explosiveness on the offense side of the ball, though. Their running back's pretty solid. They run that zone RPO mesh a lot, and Bachmeier's not bad at slinging the rock around outside of that. But I really think Gilmore, the running back, is going to have a big day-to-day on the ground against Miami. I think they might be able to cover 23.5. That's probably one of my favorite plays I didn't fire on today. So I think Kansas and Wake Forest are probably my two favorite plays I didn't take today. I don't hate anybody taking Tennessee minus 41.5 in this game against UTEP. UTEP's 2-8, guys. They're one of the worst teams in all of college football. They should be able to get it going on the ground in this game with Dylan Sampson. And I think Tennessee, it's a beauty pageant. Like we said, you need style points today. Look for Ole Miss and Tennessee to run the scores up in today's games, man. These two teams got to make a big impression here on the committee to make sure they get into the playoff. Ohio State or Indiana could lose this game. They could look at Indiana and be like, you really hadn't played anybody. You're out if they lose this game today. They could look at Ohio State and say, sorry, boys, y'all lost 2 games. Y'all are out. You didn't play in the conference championship game. Something crazy is going to happen with this, guys. These teams are going to go for style points today, so I don't hate that look at all. What's the top 3 picks for this weekend? Man, my top 2 picks are in my VIP over on SoBet. If you click the link in my bio, you get both those. But I'd say my next favorite pick was probably that Arizona State -3. I'm about to give you all another free play here, though. Let's stay in the noon window. Let's go with this Boston College, North Carolina game. I'm going to take Boston College plus 2.5. They're a 5-5 football team. They're looking to go bowling in this game today, guys. You look at North Carolina on the flip side of things, they played a really bad schedule in the ACC. I mean, they've been beating up on some of the ACC is a bad conference, guys. They've been beating up on some of the worst teams. We're not worried about Castellanos being out here. Boston College at SMU on the ropes last week without a real quarterback in there. This quarterback's not bad at all. Robichaux, the running back's going to be a beast in this game. I think they'll have a ton of success on the ground. Mike, I do like Ole Miss to cover today, to be honest with you. I'm kind of pissed I missed the number, but I think Ole Miss Ole Miss is in a good spot today for sure. Like I said, look at South Carolina. They run a lot of similar offensive concepts to Florida, and South Carolina got absolutely destroyed by Ole Miss. You also look, too, Florida's got at Florida State on deck. They're a 5-5 team. They got to go bowling somehow. Another team in a similar spot like that today is Nebraska. You look at the bet splits. Everyone's taking Wisconsin. Feels like Wisconsin had a huge emotional letdown after losing last week. Nebraska's probably not going to beat Iowa, so they got to leave it on the field today. Look at North Carolina. They want to run the football. They're 32nd in rushing success. Boston College is also 32nd in defensive rush success. So that's a really good matchup. North Carolina is 19th in line yards on the ground. Boston College's defense is 28th. It's a pretty good matchup for Boston College. They're not as good against the pass, but North Carolina's passing offense grades out as a bottom 50 unit. So this is a pretty good matchup here for Boston College's defense. Offensively, North Carolina is 77th in rush success, 116th in line yards, 78th in finishing drives. Boston College is going to run the ball all over them in this game. If they can get up, I think they'll really get it going on the ground in this game. So I like BC here to get it done in this game outright. I'll take the 2.5 points, though, just because why not? They're going to give them to me, so I might as well take them. Let's see here. Any other games we want to hit on here, guys? Let me know any other games you want to hear me talk about on the comments. Also, I have 6 bets over on my SoBet. I just gave y'all Arizona State -3 for free and Boston College plus 2.5. If you're watching on YouTube, Twitter, wherever you're watching at, guys, please hit that like button, hit that follow button for me. It helps me boost me up the algorithm. Let's see here. We talked Colorado, Kansas. Wow, Texas is down to 18.5. I'd keep an eye on this one. If it gets to 17, I could definitely take Texas. I kind of like the under in this game, though. I just don't see where you get 47 points. Kentucky's defense is going to be more healthy in this game. What do I think about Illinois? Bro, so this kind of goes back to what I was saying earlier about watching the market, kind of like with BYU. Illinois is kind of that same team, man. The market's been against Illinois in basically every single game this season, but they're still 7-3. At the same time, the market can be wrong on teams. I don't usually have a good handle on Big Ten teams, so I'm going to stay away from this one, but I still like Illinois. Rutgers, though, definitely feels like that they've been a solid program this year. That's a really tough game, in my opinion. I do think that Rutgers is probably the right play in that game, but I would want to take Illinois there, so I'm kind of with you on Illinois plus 2.5. But the line screams that they want you to take Illinois, and Rutgers is going to win, so we'll stay off that game. UCF, West Virginia. I mean, you look at West Virginia, they've been getting destroyed on the ground. UCF's going to run the ball a ton in this game. This is not the best slate for sure. I really like the 6 bets I have. Like these 6 bets, I was like, fuck yeah, we're hammering these this week. But the rest of the slate is not that great. Pittsburgh and Louisville. I actually do kind of like Louisville here to cover in this game at -8. But at the same time, I'm worried Louisville's on quit watch. That was a terrible loss they had last week. They had a complete meltdown in that Stanford game. They had no business losing. They had a chance to cover. let alone they lost the game. Stanford got like a billion third downs on them. Are they checked out here in this game? They're already going bowling. I mean, this team has had a very disappointing season. They basically, every single game they played has been one score and that they've lost this season. Like, one thing goes differently. This team's 8-2. So I think they're a much better unit than Pittsburgh. The number tells you that. They should smash Pittsburgh here. They have a really good home field advantage, but I'm just a little worried they might be checked out in this game. But if they show up, they should smash them. Baylor as well, guys. I talked about it last week. Baylor's YPP is top 5 in college football in their last 3 games. I think Baylor can get it done. I gave out 2 free plays on Arizona State -3, and I also gave out another free play on Boston College +2.5. My other 4 picks are on my SoBet, including 2 max plays. I actually have favorite plays of the entire season over there right now, guys. If you click or shoot me a DM, I'll get you guys signed up. Let's see here. Texas A&M and Auburn. This is another like tricky line. I do like Texas A&M here, but this line screams Auburn's going to beat them. Why is it -2 here? I mean, Texas A&M is a massive game coming up next against Texas. It's basically win or to go to the playoff. But if they lose this game here, they're not going to go to the playoff. Auburn's really bad, guys. I mean, Auburn turns the ball over way too much, in my opinion. I can only look towards Texas A&M, though, in this game. It's such a trap line, though. I got to stay off that one. Alabama, Oklahoma. I mean, this is the biggest underdog I think Oklahoma's been in, like, I think all time at home. I think it's the biggest dog spot they've ever been in. Iron Bowl on deck, huge rivalry game. Oklahoma fighting for their lives to go bowling the next 2 weeks. I still really like Alabama in this game, but I'm going to stay off this game. The Iron Bowl on deck scares me a little bit. Wow, Vandy, LSU got hit up to 9. I do like Vandy in this game. I'm probably going to stay away. I want 10 in order to hop in on Vandy there. But yeah, guys, that's pretty much what we got for today's slate. Should be a really solid slate of games, though, on this nice Saturday. IU got it +13.5 down. I still like Indiana to cover for sure at +10.5. I think Indiana is going to win the game outright. I really do. I think Ohio State has a good team, but feels like this Indiana team is being undervalued and whatnot. Signetti's a better coach than Ryan Day. We've seen Ryan Day losing this spot so many times over and over again. I think the game's going to be a total dogfight. It's going to be a tight game, so I'll gladly take the points with Indiana. But all right, guys, that's all I got for today's slate. I appreciate y'all for jumping in here and talking ball with me and whatnot. If y'all want to get all my picks today, they're on SoBet. I have one of my favorite plays of the entire week over there. Hey, I got you, Pipe Layer. Yeah, guys, Bro's at the Ohio State-Indiana game today, so unfortunately he's not on here with me. But I'll be back on here once again tomorrow morning talking NFL, giving out props and some sides tomorrow for NFL. So if y'all want some NFL picks, make sure you hit the follow button and tap in with me again tomorrow. I'll give out probably 3 free plays tomorrow. I usually play about 8 plays in the NFL, but I only play like 3 or 4 sides and mostly play props in the NFL. So tap in with me tomorrow, guys. I appreciate y'all for stopping by the stream today. Let's get some fucking money.